What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video. And guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up. And you like the content I'm dropping, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the DC Comics content that I release on a daily basis. I go over all these famous storylines like Batman Last Night on Earth, pretty much Batman Nightfall, I'm doing that soon, Batman Core Vows, and now Batman the Killing Joke. Now guys, this story is dark, alright? I'm just gonna warn you, it's a dark story, but it might be the best DC story of all time, or maybe the best comic story of all time. At least it's up there, right? It's one of the best, it's one of my favorite. It pretty much shows Joker trying to prove to Batman at this point that all it takes is one bad day for someone to go insane, because that's what happened to him. So a lot of people think of this as the definite Joker origin story. And guys, as we know, the Joker movie of Joaquin Phoenix, that movie didn't go by it. That one had a whole different origin. But this is the one that I like to think of as the origin, because it's very well written by Alan Moore. It has a lot of different stuff in it, a lot of stuff to unravel. It's very interesting, and the art by Brian Bolland just really sells the idea of the Joker. And guys, there's really three main points in the storyline that a lot of people remember. One, Barbara Gordon's shot, Joker's origin, and then the ending of the story of Batman the Joker. I'll be explaining in full, guys. So to start out, we're gonna be diving into the intro of this issue. This whole storyline's only about 46 pages, but I'm gonna split it up as we go, different sections, so you guys can understand it better. And starting out, we'll see Batman pretty much trying to figure out a way to fix this relationship between him and the Joker, and Joker finally pushing it to the limit. Alright guys, enough this intro, let's get to Batman the Killing Joke, part 1. So guys, first off, we got this dope cover right here. It looks pretty cool to see Joker with a camera, Batman the Killing Joke Deluxe Edition. I have this one. And him with the camera kind of foreshadows what happens in this issue. Now, diving in past all these different stuff in the beginning, we have different cool images with Brian Bolland. But starting it out, guys, what we see is pretty much rain just falling on the ground. And as we continue, we see pretty much a cop car pretty much approaching. And guys, this is really interesting because when it approaches, this is Arkham Asylum. And coming through the gate is Batman. And Batman's walking up. He's very nonchalantly about it. He's not really fast about it. He's going at his, a slow pace. He's making it through, and you see Commissioner Gordon right next to this cop pretty much in front of Arkham Asylum. And he then sees Batman, passes his copy over, and leads Batman into Arkham Asylum. Now, at the front of Arkham Asylum, you see this girl pretty much lead them through the entrance. You see them walk by all these cells. You see Two-Face. Guys, Two-Face looks cool. You see him in his cell number is Dent H0751. And as you go by, you see all these different villains, and they finally approach Joker's cell. Now, Batman goes in, he walks in, you see pretty much Joker playing solitaire, or pretty much playing cards. He's putting different cards down, and you see Batman go by, and this caption says there were these two guys in a lunatic asylum. So it really sets the tone. And they're in there alone. The cell door is shut, Commissioner Gordon and the cops are outside. Batman is alone with this maniac. So Batman is not surprised the Joker. He's not playing this out. He's going in fully pretty much, he's not prepared at all. He's just going in to talk with the Joker. So he's very vulnerable. You think about it, if the Joker was in here, this would be his best chance to kill Batman, but he doesn't. And what we see is Batman's in there, he's in front of the Joker. You see a lot of just the Joker's hands. You don't see his actual face. And you see Batman hello, I came to talk. And you see Joker's just not responding. And Batman's I've been thinking lately about us, about you, about me and you. And he's about how this will end. One of us will die. We're not going to live till the end. One of us will kill the other. Maybe it'll be me who will die, maybe it'll be you. But Batman wants to reconcile the relationship. He's maybe there's a chance that I can bring you back from insane. I can make you sane, and we can end all this. We can both end up in a good situation. And he says, but you have to pretty much trust me. You have to stop what you're doing. Stop all this insanity. And Batman is trying this because Batman, yeah, he could kill Joker, but he doesn't go by that no-kill rule. But it's going to the point that Joker's been around for so long, they've been fighting each other for so long that he has to kill him eventually. but he doesn't want to kill him and know that, hey, I could have did something that could have saved him. Like, I could have did something that could have brought him back from insanity. And what we see is Batman's like, are you listening to me? He starts getting angry. He's like, it's life and death that I am discussing here. He's like, maybe my death, maybe yours. And he's like, I don't fully understand why ours should be like such a faithful battle. Like, why should we keep battling if we can change this? And he goes to grab the Joker by the wrist, but then there's like makeup. Like, there's makeup on his hands, and then he takes a hold of the Joker, grabs him, and this person, who is not the Joker, obviously, is not the Joker, guys, he's like, hey, wait a minute, don't you touch me, I got rights. And Batman grabs him and sees that's not the Joker at all. The Joker is gone, and Batman's like, where is he? He starts yelling, starts crying, he's like, where is he? And this guy is like, oh god, he's actually scared. And you see Commissioner Gordon outside, he's like, oh my god, he's actually lost it. And Batman inside, he's like, do you realize what you've done? You pretty much just released like a maniac, one of the worst villains I've ever went against, out into the public. And you see Commissioner Gordon go inside, he's like, hey, don't touch that hair off him, don't touch the Joker, you can't hurt him. And then he realizes when Batman pulls off that wig off this guy's head, and Commissioner Gordon's like, oh, he's actually escaped. They're actually pretty frightened by this, because Joker's done some bad stuff. Now, we shift to the actual Joker at this carnival, and he's making a deal with like this guy. This pretty much this guy, he's trying to sell his carnival. It's a pretty bad carnival, and he's like, oh, what do you think about it? And Joker's like, well, it's pretty ugly, it's pretty dirty, it's very dangerous, people could die for it, it's pretty much like a death trap. And this guy's like, oh, so you don't like it? He's like, you don't want it? And Joker's like, don't like it? I'm crazy about it. He's like, I love it. Because the Joker loves death traps. Like, he's not just making this carnival to sell to people and make it a fun place. No, he's using it for like a very bad reason, alright? Now, you see the guy's like, you really want this? He's like, he's actually pretty surprised. He's like, you sure you want it? And Joker's like, yeah, I totally want it. And the guy's like, the price isn't too steep. And Joker's like, no, it's not steep, it's perfect. And Joker's like, well, money's not really a problem, at least not these days. And then we shift to a flashback, which is really interesting, and this starts the origin story. You see pretty much this Joker, but he's not the Joker yet, he's actually a regular guy coming home to his wife, and the wife, who has an unborn baby inside this apartment, they live in like a pretty dirty apartment, it's not really a good place, and this girl's like, so how'd it go? How'd your act go? Because what he's doing is, he used to have a good job, but he threw it away because he thought he had talent for pretty much being a comedian, and he goes trying to become like a star. But he's there, he's like, well, they said they'd call me, he's like, it may be good, but he's like, I don't know, I got nervous, it didn't go so well, and the wife's like, oh, and she's kind of like, oh, upset, and he's like, what do you mean, oh? He starts getting like very nervous, and starts like yelling at her, like, I'm doing everything I can, he's like, this is not working, I need to do something. She's like, I wasn't trying to be mean to you, so I just said, oh, like, I felt bad for you. And this guy is like, you don't think I care about our family? You don't think? He starts like just going insane in a way, and he hugs his wife, and the wife's like, oh god, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry what's happening to you, I'm sorry I'm putting all this pressure on you, but it's fine, like, I believe in you, I trust you. And the guy's like, I don't mean to take all my anger out on you, like, the woman downstairs, pretty much like the landlord, she's giving us an extra month, like, she trusts you, she feels bad for you, she hates me, like, everybody hates me, I can't get talent in these comedian stuff, I can't support us as a family. And this old lady with the cat, she's actually listening to this whole conversation, like, she's eavesdropping, and he's like, I need to figure out something. He's like, pretty much our baby's coming soon, we're gonna have a child soon, we need to be able to support this kid. And he's like, I just want money so we go to like a decent neighborhood. I want us to have a good life. Right now we don't. And pretty much the wife's like, it's fine, I trust you, I know you'll figure it out. It's like, the one thing I love about you is you always make me laugh. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, and she's like, don't worry about it, we'll make it through this. And he's actually pretty happy about it. He's like, okay, you're giving me hope. Pretty much the wife and his unborn child is the only thing keeping him from going insane. Now we shift back and we see Joker walking through this carnival. This is in present day, and we see this guy get on top of this like pig thing. It's like another like ride, and he's like, huh, you're pretty positive about this. He's like, you won't regret about your purchase. This is an awesome place. All the different rides are not dangerous. They're very great, and he's like, so you're gonna pay for it? And Joker's like, totally, you're such a good salesman. He's like, you sold it to me, you're so good at that. And the guy's like, well, it's my privilege. He's actually pretty happy. Joker pats him on the back, and he goes through, he's like, well, turns out I'm not gonna be paying you because my colleagues pretty much decide this. And he's like, the property's already mine before I even came here. I think you may know that. And he's like, so you happy with that? He's like, yeah, sounds like, looks like you're happy about it. And he starts walking away. He's like, he's like, there's no improvements to make this a perfect place, pretty much like a death trap. He's like, well, I gotta go, I gotta set some stuff up and pretty much do my plans, but you stay here and I hope you stick around. And when he walks away, you see this guy, he's dead. He's on top of this big thing, and he's smiling. Pretty much when Joker patted him on the back, he gave him this Joker toxin, and he's dead. He just killed that guy like that. And you then shift back to Batman in the Batcave, and he has the Joker card. He's looking around, he sees a picture of the Bat family, and he's just remembering all the stuff he's went through with like the Joker. He's like been fighting for so long. He's like, it always ends the same way. He beats the Joker, Joker goes to Arkham Asylum, then he gets out, and it's just repeated. And he's walking through, he's looking, you see all these different Joker stuff that is like different like Joker items that Batman has got through all their journeys. And you see him make it through, he's talking to Alfred. Alfred comes through, he's like, you fine? And Alfred's like, do you want any like drinks, anything for like food? And Batman tells Alfred, he's like, all these years, and I don't even know who he actually is. I don't know who the Joker is. He's like, how can two people hate so much without actually knowing each other? He's like, Joker doesn't know about me, he doesn't know my identity, he doesn't know my story. I don't know his story, but we hate each other so much. We've been in this like battle for so long. Now, that's when we shift to pretty much Commissioner Gordon's apartment. We see Barbara, and Commissioner Gordon's pretty much looking at the newspaper, and Barbara's like, hey, tell him, drink, relax, don't worry about your job. You've been on the job all day, just hang out with me, it's all good. And Commissioner Gordon's like, well, the Joker's escaped. I have to pay attention to this. I know Batman will take care of it, but I still got to do my job. And Barbara's like, no, it's good. Just don't worry about the paper. Let's just hang out. And she's like, oh, well, my friends are coming soon. Colleen, we're gonna go do yoga. You can stay here. Commissioner Gordon's looking at this newspaper, and he sees a picture of Batman pretty much grabbing this guy, and it's the same picture from Detective Comics number 27 from the very first appearance of Batman. It's pretty cool, and you see a picture of Joker below. Commissioner Gordon's like, wow, it's been so long. It started so long ago, the Batman-Joker rivalry. And you see Barbara, pretty much the doorbell rings. She's like, oh, that's my friend. She goes to open the door, and guess who's there? It's the Joker. And he's in this like new outfit. He has like kind of like a different shirt, a hat, and he's just smiling. He has a gun. He points it to Barbara, and Barbara's like frightened. She gets shot in the hip. She falls to the ground, and she gets hit through some glass, and she's in like total pain. And Commissioner Gordon's like, Barbara, and Joker's like, please don't worry. It's a psychological compliment. He's like, I'm just here to pretty much take you. And Joker's like, mind you, I can't say much for the volumes of her condition. She's paralyzed. She's not going to do well. And Commissioner Gordon's like, you scum, you hurt my daughter. He's getting mad. And he gets grabbed by different Joker goons, and he gets punched in the face, gets hit to the ground, and Joker's like, hey, be careful with him. We want him intact so we can drive him insane. They pretty much knock out Commissioner Gordon. He's like down, and Joker goes over to Barbara. And Barbara's like, she's like in total pain. She's like, I can't deal with this. Why'd you do this? And Joker's like, well, we're not just here to just shoot you in the back. We're going to do a lot more. And she's like, why would you do anything like this? He's like, to prove a point. Here's the crime. And you see him holding a glass and just smiling in front of her on top of Barbara as she's going through like unmeasurable pain. Now guys, this part is a big deal because pretty much Barbara Gordon being like shot and stuff and being hurt and stuff, that's a big deal in her comics. And actually, after this, she wasn't in comics for a while because she got paralyzed, but then she became Oracle, and she actually showed up in the Suicide Squad first as Oracle, and then her identity was revealed a couple issues later in Suicide Squad. Then she pretty much made a team, the Birds of Prey, with Black Canary, Huntress, and she had a whole watchtower, like a clock tower, and she just operated as like a computer person. She was a Batgirl for so many years. Now after that, the clock tower then got destroyed. She had falling out with the Bat family. She got together with like Nightwing, like in the whole like not Final Crisis. Before that, in like Infinite Crisis. After that storyline, that event series, she got together with Nightwing. She actually had like a good life. Like yeah, she was paralyzed, but she had the love of her life. Nightwing, she had a good life. But then She separated with him before they were about to get married. They pretty much took off the engagement. She left. She went on her own, and that's when the final crisis came. Batman died, and she went together with the Bat family once again and gave the Batgirl mantle to Stephanie Brown. So you had Stephanie Brown, you had Orphan, which is Cassandra Cain. They came different Batgirl, but Barbara didn't come Batgirl again until 2011. 23 years later, because this comic premiered in 1988. So 23 years later, she comes Batgirl again in the New 52 after Flashpoint. This turns out, when she got hit, like the Flashpoint paradox, it changed her story. She came Oracle for a little bit, but then she had surgery, she got an implant, and came Batgirl once more, but still a bad memory in her mind that she remembers. This was a big deal for her like comic career, and it affected her in a big way throughout all these comics. And it's one of the big things that a lot of people remember in the Killing Joke that Barbara got shot. Alright guys, that's where we're going to stop for now. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you like the content I'm dropping, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next part in this Killing Joke series. Now guys, the next video I'll go over pretty much the Joker's origin. After that, we'll pretty much go over pretty much Batman and Joker, that final showdown, and then I'll give my final review on this pretty much story as a whole. But guys, in the comment section below, tell me what you thought about this part of the story about Barbara Gordon getting shot, her history, about how it affected her with like the Birds of Prey. Are you a big fan of the Birds of Prey? Do you like Barbara Gordon being like Oracle? And do you like the decision of pretty much in the New 52, just in a way making an easy fix? Like she gets her hips, like she gets like an implant, she comes Batgirl again. Like I don't think it hurt the storyline, but I still thought it was like an easy fix in the New 52. But yeah guys, that's the video, and peace out.